I've actually done a Taylor Swift book tag before. If you knew me in high school, you did. I started book 2 in high school, and I posted like a couple videos, all of which I took down, and they will never ever see the light of day ever again. Of all those videos, it's the most viewed video, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the last video that I posted before restarting again. One thing's for sure, this Taylor Swift book tag is so much better than that one. I'm telling you. Hey guys, welcome back. So yes, I am doing another book tag, but this is not just any book tag, this is kind of special. Tomorrow is December 13 and that date absolutely has no significance to me. It's not my birthday or anything. But it's Taylor Swift's birthday. Who's Taylor Swift? I don't know, artist of the decade, artist of the year. So in honor of Taylor Swift's birthday being tomorrow, I am doing a book tag, and not just any book tag, and it's not just any Taylor Swift book tag, it's the Taylor Swift book tag. So I chose a couple songs from each album, 8 of them, her albums. So I chose a couple songs from each album with a prompt that I will relate to a book here on my shelf. Some of these prompts come from blogs that I've searched online. I will link the blogs below. Thank you to those blog owners that made these prompts, and yeah, let's get started. Let's start with her first album, her debut album. Tim McGraw, your favorite character with blue eyes. I don't think I know many characters with blue eyes. My favorite character was beautiful blue eyes is Dorian Havillard from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I mean, sapphire eyes? Come on. Really, there is no other blue eyes that's gonna be more beautiful than Dorian's. Am I right? Or am I right? Picture to Burn. Book to movie adaptation you want to destroy. We can all agree on this one. The worst movie adaptation of a book ever is Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I mean, just no. If I could burn it, I would. Rick Riordan agrees with me. Should have said no. Book or series with changes that made you lose interest. My answer for this one is the Miss Peregrine series, and what happened to that made me lose interest is that I just knew it as a trilogy. And the way the last book ended, the third book, Library of Souls, it ended in a nice way. It's an ending. And then 2 other books were released after that, so I was not that interested. I like how the third ended, so that kind of made me lose interest in it. Instead of like, oh, I want to see how the story ends, so I'll read the 2 other books. I've read the first 3 anyways. I just did not. I accept how the third book ended. To me, the other 2 books does not exist. Let's move on to her second album, Fearless. Forever and Always, favorite book couple. This is kind of a tough one, but one that surfaces of all of them is Feyre and Rhysand from A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Because they beat all the others in every aspect. I mean, Rhysand is the most perfect guy you would ever ask for. And then Feyre is this, well, everything you could ask for a female protagonist. So, and then them together, it's a relationship anyone could ask for. I mean, honestly, who would? The Best Day, book that makes you feel nostalgic. For this one, I'd have to go with the Harry Potter series. I mean, it's just a huge part of not only my childhood, but I think most of our childhoods. It's the book we grew up with. It's the movies we grew up with. It's these characters that are now all grown up and parents that we've come to love as we were growing up. It's not just about facing the evil, defeating the antagonists, defeating evil, and rising up as a good hero who was destined for everything and someone who did not fall into despair and all that stuff. But it was also growing up, finding friends, found family tropes, and it's really nice. Let's move on to Speak Now. Enchanted, book you found by chance that you ended up loving. Okay, this book was not so much as I found by chance. It's just, I've heard of this book and we were in this cafe thing that had books that you can pull out of the shelves and read while you're having coffee, cake, and stuff like that. And the book that I pulled out, it was 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, and I ended up liking it. Between you and me, the book was good, the series just did not help it. If this was a movie, a book you really want to become a movie. We all know what happens when books become movies. They never do good. But I think what would I like best to see on screen is the Throne of Glass series, because there's a lot of adventure in it and a lot of characters. It won't be boring. It's not just spoilers. As an assassin wanting to be free, or a queen reclaiming her kingdom. Queen falling in love with the prince or something like that. We see the culture of the witches, the culture of the southern continent, and a lot more than that. And I think it would be really nice to see it not just in my mind, but also on screen. Let's move on to the Red album. Red, a book with a red cover. I think I have a lot of books with red covers, but what would be my favorite would have to be this one, Court of Thorns and Roses. I mean, I think only one book that's more red than this, but this beats that. I Knew You Were Trouble, book with a bad character you can't help but love. I mean, don't we all love bad characters? But a bad character I can't help but love would have to be Maven Calor from the Red Queen series. Hear me out. Okay, Maven was absolutely mean to Mare and to Cal, but Maven was that way because of his mother. It wasn't entirely his fault. He was literally brainwashed. But it's more that I pity him so much because his mother was controlling him his entire life. Literally. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, book or a series you were in love with but wanted to break up with. My answer here would be Peace, this series. It's the Goddess War series by Kenari Blake. Why do I want to break up with it? Well, it was a good read. I was reading it, I was enjoying it, but I don't feel so connected to it than with others. So with this, how the third book ended, it ended with a romance. Like, it turned into a romance. Spoiler alert, Athena, the main character here, how Odysseus, Athena's beloved student or something, blessed by Athena and everything, they ended up kind of like together. I did not like that. I've always seen Athena as someone who would not take a romantic partner, and the book ended, the series ended with Athena and Odysseus together. Weird. It's weird. Ronan, book with a tragic character death or a death of an innocent. Okay, I know this song isn't exactly in the Red album, but it's the Red era and I kind of like the prompt here, so I'm doing it anyways and putting it in red. Okay, there are a lot of character deaths that I've read. I think the best answer here would be Hedwig from the Harry Potter series. Also, Hedwig! I have a Hedwig. Anyways, Hedwig was a casualty of a war that was between two people, two sides, and it's not exactly that Hedwig had a side. Hedwig just had an owner. Moving on to 1989. Style. 3 authors' writing style you love. My first pick here would be Sarah J. Maas because her writing style it's more of a narration, which I like. Personally, I kind of write like that. So whenever I'm kind of stuck on writing, I just read a couple of pages from any of her books and I get going. Next would be Le Bardugo. It's chill. It's a little on the younger end of YA. It's easy to read, it's easy to follow, and the third would have to be Rick Riordan. I mean, come on. The guy writes books and then writes haikus for his chapter titles. Gotta give him extra points for that extra effort. His writing is just so funny and it's just feels light. It feels easy. Bad Blood. Book that gave you the most painful feels. Right, there are a lot of books that gave me the painful feels. But I think the book that gave me most painful feels was this one. The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And it's a good pick because it doesn't revolve around character death. Like, I did not cry and wail because a character died. It was because of the revelation we had with Charlie and his favorite aunt and why he has selective memory loss and everything. And that revelation was just shocking. It was one of those moments that you have to close the book, put it down, and take a walk. I really felt the pain on Charlie's part. Wonderland, book that features your favorite fictional world. All of these fictional worlds I love, but there's something special with the world here in Akamath, the second of the Avatar series. And why not the Avatar series? No, this one, because this has most scenes from the Night Court. This is where we first see Vilaris, and this is where we see it most. And it has a beautiful night sky, and I love night skies. I could go to a fictional place, I would absolutely choose Vilaris. If I have to live there, that's fine. I mean, can I please do that? Okay, wow. Reputation. Look what you made me do. Character that rose up from the dead, figuratively. I don't know, it had to be figuratively. I have read a lot of characters that actually rose up from the dead, but I think this means I'm like a 2.0. I think it would be Mara Dyer from the Mara Dyer trilogy. Because Mara from the first book and Mara from the last book are completely different people. She started with, shy, scared, and someone who's very comfortable with being badass, comfortable with herself, with her environment, and I really love seeing that change in Mara, and I really love Mara in the end. Gorgeous. Characters so gorgeous they make you want to sink and die. This character. This character is Fenris Moonbeam from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. And come on. Aelin saw him, that it was beautiful. Kale-san said it was beautiful. Dorian had a man crush on him. Who wouldn't? Come on. Fenris. Getaway Car. Book with tempestuous romance. The couple that had the most ups and downs, on and offs, and a lot of problems. Very much of a roller coaster ride reading their relationship. Probably Mare and Cal from the Red Queen series. They were on and off for the entire series. I mean, they're together, they fight, they're enemies, they're together but enemies. They had secret romance, stuff like that. So, woo, we're here. The next album is Lover. The Man, book with a kick-ass female protagonist. I have a lot of characters for this, and I want to list all of them because they deserve the appreciation and the label kick-ass female protagonist. Let's start off with Lena Aylin from Throne of Glass. I mean, assassin to queen, come on. The ultimate dream. Another character from Throne of Glass, Manon Blackbeard. Come on. Not only the heir of the Blackbeard clan, but also destined to be queen of all the witches. And next, also Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and Feyre. Come on. I mean, Feyre isn't as cutthroat or as aggressive as Aelin or Manon, but it's not about being deadly, or it's about being strong, generally everywhere. And Feyre is the perfect example of that. And similar to Feyre is Mara from Mara Dyer. And Mara was afraid at the start, and in her situation, who wouldn't be? But she overcome all of that. She had new friends. The last book or series that I will get characters from is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And I'd start with Inej. Inej was strong and very deadly with her weapons, but also very kind and understanding and such an empath. It's very nice to see female protagonists not only being deadly, ready to kill, and being masters with weapons, but also being such a loving character, a character who laughs on her free time, who's not afraid to show emotions. And it's very kick-ass to do that. I'm not gonna forget Nina. Nina was willing to sacrifice herself in many ways, mentally and physically, so her friends could get to safety, even if she knows she might completely change. But she was willing to take that risk so that everyone that she loved would be safe. Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, book with political undertones. It's not a book that's gonna be more political than this, and it's of 2 copies. It's 1984 by George Orwell. It's about a totalitarian government where the government controls you and your everything. Honestly, we're not too far off from it. I'm just saying. London Boy, favorite British male protagonist. This I have no idea why I added this here, because I only know one British male protagonist. Wait, Harry Potter is British. Okay, I guess it has a point now, it's here. I don't know if you've already gotten a hint, but obviously my choice would be Noah Shaw, because Noah Shaw's crazy. It's nice to have a friend. Favorite friend duo or trio. I chose one for duo and one for trios for the fun of it. So for duo, the friendship of Joe and Tori from Little Women is just beautiful, and it's unbreakable. That even if they tried to pursue it romantically and it didn't end well, and they're still the bestest of friends, and no one can beat that duo. For the trio, I had to choose the Inner Court boys from Akatar series, Cassian, Azriel, and Rhys. They literally grew up together, faced wars together. Oh, we're here. We're their 8th album, my personal favorite right now because it's raining. The One, book with an ending that left you speechless. I'd have to say it's this one, The Retribution of Mara Dyer, the ending to the Mara Dyer trilogy. And why? Because it ended with a full circle. We came back to the start. The start of the series started with Mara writing a letter like, my name was not Mara Dyer, but my lawyer said I had to choose one. And the end was, Mara taking up writing, journaling, and that was the first thing she wrote. that letter. And I'm left speechless by endings that go in a full circle. Nice to see how everything turns out in the end, and we're basically back to the start, but not really. It actually shocked me. Like, oh my god. The Last Great American Dynasty. Friend wanted me to add this. It isn't exactly the prompt, but she wants to add this excerpt from a book she read. I don't even know what book this is. I'm sorry, I have not read it. But she wants me to include this because of that last time. I mean, The Last Great American Dynasty. My Tears Ricochet. Book that made you cry uncontrollably. Okay, there are a lot of books that made me cry uncontrollably. First, Little Women, because such a mundane and simple death for Beth. Next is Kingdom of Ash, mostly because a lot of people die. Come on. A Court of Mist and Fury, because of chapter 54. August, book that reminds you of summer. There's a book that's gonna remind me of summer. It has to be this one. Sarah swimming. Two boys swim. One boy teaching the other swims. Summer. Also, I don't really remember much. It's set during the summer vacation. And it's like summer love, but something much more than that. So, summer. It's very summer. There's nothing else on this show. It's gonna be more summer than this. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye!